So you clicked on this video thinking it'd be another boring benchmark video with the frame rate in the top left corner or top right if they want to get freaky, and a couple of settings and just, you know, gameplay. And for a while that has been the standard, just showing you how it's done, just how the gameplay runs and how the game runs on the system. But what I want to do, I'm going to mix things up, switch it up a little bit, and go more in depth and show you some of the parts that those videos cannot show you. So what I will be doing is I will be pairing up the FX-6300 with an RX 470, 4 gigabytes, 8 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be testing 3 modes in Battlefield 1, one of the hottest, you know, the hottest games of 2016. And I'll be testing it in Conquest, Rush, and Campaign. So Campaign, the reason being is it's not on a massive scale. It's more of a controlled, you know, just you see what the PC can do. It's a baseline. Then we go to Conquest, where just everything hits the fan. Freaking 64 players, tanks blowing up, airplanes flying overhead, dropping bombs, mustard gas, just everything going crazy, right? And then Rush is going to be a relaxed version of that, where it's just 12 versus 12. It's not as demanding on your system, and you might generally be able to run that better. So those are the 3 game modes I'll be testing, and the settings I will be using is 1080p, the gold standard right now, just the best of the best, cream of the crop right now, just sweet spot, right? Ultra settings, and a lot of PCs now can do ultra settings. It's not as hard as it used to be. I know that for sure. And FOV is normal, VSync is off, and I believe motion blur is, I think, 50. I cannot remember for the life of me right now. But that is my testing methodology. I can't even say that word right now. Methodology, there we go. That is my testing methodology. So I hope you guys enjoy the benchmarks. And yes, I will be talking in them. It is 3 parts. So I'll see you guys in the benchmarks. Alright, so get ready, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Alright, so the first game mode we're going to be starting with is Campaign. Now that's just the baseline, the beginning, you know, the first thing you do. And when I was downloading Battlefield 1, and you know that little percentage where it says playable, this is the first thing I played. This is what got me hooked to it. So I'm about to start the gameplay, and let's watch it. I'm going to watch it real time with you guys, keep it real, so let's go. Alright, so now the FPS in this, it's a little bit, you know, it's not as good as I thought it would be. So earlier on in the campaign, I was getting a lock 60, and it's on ultra. I was getting a lot more FPS, and I was wondering why is it so low. So I believe it might be the recording, because earlier in the campaign, when the tank was in around so many explosions and all that stuff, the FPS was really solid. So I have to, you know, I have to question this a little bit, but I'd say without recording, you would get a solid 60 FPS at 1080p, and with recording, you can see it kind of goes down a little bit. What I recorded with is this program. I never really used it before. It's called Plays.tv, and I just found out about it like a week ago, and it's pretty decent. It's like shadow play for AMD cards, because I recently switched from a 750 Ti to my current RX 470, and I was looking for a replacement. So I'll leave a link to that in the description if you guys want to try it out. It's pretty sweet. It records 1080p 60 FPS, and it doesn't affect performance too much. So I'd say this is pretty playable, you know, 40 to 60 FPS, but it's not like the sweet 60 FPS, you know, spot. But it's playable and it's enjoyable. And for the campaign, I mean, you know, it's campaign, you don't gotta sweat so much. So I'd say, you know, I'll give this a pass. Alright, I give this a pass. The FX is it's holding it back a little bit. I noticed that the GPU was around, I'd say, 70 to 80% usage on here. And, you know, that's a little odd, you know, because GPUs normally are pushed to 99%. So I'd say there is a little bit of a bottleneck here. Alright, so I think this wraps it up for the campaign. Let's move on to Conquest. And boy, you're gonna be shocked. Guys, welcome to the Conquest part. It's not like a hotel person, just welcome to the hotel, you know. But we're gonna doing Conquest now, and the FPS on here was not you know, it wasn't too great, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Now this is like a giant bottleneck, I gotta say, like a really big bottleneck for the FX. And yes, I know it's a few years old, and pairing a 2016, that was a big ass a big mic pop right there. But pairing a 2016 card with what, 2000, I'd say 12 or 13, I don't know the exact date. It's not the smartest idea, right? I know it's not, but it holds up kind of good. I gotta say, it's a little disappointing. Like, it hits 30s. The lowest I saw was 30, I believe 32 at one point, and I was like, really, this is crazy. And it's because in Battlefield 4 I'd get like 90 FPS in the same game mode with the same amount of players, so I couldn't really put my hand on it. Maybe it's the game not fully optimized for all the cores, or maybe it's just the old CPU. Either way, the performance it's playable. It's in the 40s, and it's, you know, it's not great. If you drop it to high preset, the FPS doesn't really change at all. So that shows that there is a big bottleneck here, and that it is the actual CPU bottlenecking. And if you guys would like me to overclock and make a part 2 to this, just let me know in the comments. But it is in the 40s to 60. It's hard to say the 60 because it barely hits 60 every now and then. But it is playable, and it looks pretty good too, so you can't really complain. For what, it's an $85 CPU right now on Newegg, so I mean, it's Cyber Monday, I think, the deal, I don't know, but it's pretty cheap, guys. It's pretty cheap, and to be holding up still to this day, it's pretty crazy. So that is Conquest. It is the same or a little bit better than the campaign, and I feel like the recording kind of did bog it down a little bit too here, because I remember playing it before and it wasn't this choppy. It felt really choppy when I was playing. Like, it wasn't smooth like butter, like when you're playing CSGO and you're just hitting those aces. But now let's move on to the rush gameplay, and it's a little bit weird there too. I'll just warn you guys now. Alright guys, now we are going to be doing rush, and I'm clicking play right now. So the FPS in this, God, I cannot figure this game out really. So the FPS is a little bit better. It's around campaign quality, you know, the FPS. It's in the 50s now. Not as bad as, you know, the low 40s in Conquest. But it is 12 vs 12, so I was kind of expecting a locked 60, which I've had before in this map. So I don't know if it is the recording software that is doing it, but I have had a locked 60, like a perfect 60, just super smooth in this map 4. So I might have to blame it on the recorder. And if I did use Fraps or Bandicam, it'd make the FPS go like way worse. But it is a lot better on here. It's in the 50s to 60s, and I believe I did see it 70 at one point, but it might have been in the menu. But otherwise, you know, the game still looks really freaking good. Like honestly, just look at the freaking textures, how everything looks. It's crazy, right? It looks great. Anyways, you know, it's FPS. But what I do is I try to make it high again or medium, and the FPS did not change whatsoever. It kind of went worse the lower I went. So it's a CPU bottleneck, obviously, guys. And also, sorry about the really bad gunplay. Like, I'm really bad right now. I'm just trash. But in conclusion, I would say I wouldn't, you know, keep using this CPU in the future. If it's in your system, because you looked this up for the benchmark, I would upgrade when Zen comes out, which is in January. And that's what I plan on doing. It's only 149, I think it's around that area. In conclusion, I'd recommend playing Battlefield 1 on here. It's fine. Good 6 FPS, domination, war pigeons, what is it, rush, there's nothing more I'm thinking of, team deathmatch, and that's about it. I wouldn't recommend doing this on, like, you know, operations where it's freaking crazy, like a mix of conquest and rush. It's fun, but sometimes the FPS I can't play. It's like 30 FPS, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? It's just so low I can't even play. So that's pretty much it, guys. I did do DirectX 12 to see if there's any improvement, which is showing up on the screen right now. And on campaign, there was a, I believe like a 10 FPS improvement. It was in the 60s now, but you know, it's not that much. You know, this game is still early. You know, same thing with Battlefield 4. When it was early, it was like really buggy and really bad. And now it's kind of, I don't know if it's the same thing here. Battlefield 4 got better over time. So maybe in like, you know, February, January, this game will have better optimization and it'll be running better. For now, I'd stick to Rush and all those, you know, lower end until they kind of patch it up or you get a better CPU, guys. So that's about it. That's my opinions on this. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe. I'm on my way to 100 subscribers. You know, it's not that much, but it still means something to me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.